Okay. Hello. I don't know what I'm doing, but we're going live. We're ready.
Are we live now?
Yeah, we are. We are live. I am here with.
We are in fact live. Okay, good to know.
I think I'm live. I think my stream key is in. I'm online apparently.
Oh, we have the deck lists for both the players, don't we?
We do. I'm going to probably. I don't quite know what the best philosophy is as far as hiding those or keeping them away or.
Well, they're already public, so like people know. But like
drafts are live. The deck lists themselves are private.
Oh.
It's just we get to see whatever they pick from.
Oh, right, but the draft. Yeah, but we can at least see the drafts. The drafts
are
for
sure.
Okay, cool. So we have
we can put the drafts on the screen.
Yeah. So we have an idea of. Yeah. Also, could you like post the Twitch link?
Yeah, that is in general discussion. Also, put it in announcements.
It's in general.
Oh, that's it.
Just doing some housekeeping. If anyone wants to tune into the stream and see if I don't no idea what I'm doing.
I'm watching the stream, but I can't hear audio, so.
Like audio's not coming through on the stream?
No. Like I have it muted, so I won't be able to tell you.
Okay, yeah.
I tuned in a little bit and it was working. I think we're good to go.
All right.
38,000 gold. What the heck?
Be careful though, because there's not a lot of delay from when I jumped.
A lot of gold.
Yeah, no, I mean, it is very snipeable, but I don't know. I'm not smart enough to really work.
Delay?
Yeah.
If people snipe, we'll be upset.
Yeah, we'll just be very angry at them. But yeah, I'm recording, I'm streaming. I think we can go ahead and tell our participants to, let her rip. Does anyone want to plug themselves here? Revenge Turtle, your wonderful stream. Booper, you don't really play card game much anymore, which is tragic, but...
I still know what the things do, and I'm here for moral support and fun commentating.
I'm like a mixed streamer. I do like collective, Gladiabots, and like sometimes just Steam games. So I kind of do like everything. But yeah, Revenge Turtle is my Twitch stream. It has like a little underscore space between Revenge and Turtle.
Anyway, we have just given our lovely players the go-ahead to begin the first round. Very interesting, looking at their different strategies here. I think that these are two people that have really interesting drafts. I know that Gentle is going almost in a more aggro direction. They are really focused. I think they've got this... they're drafted into Mind and Strength, and they were one of the people drafting the lowest curves out of anyone in the draft. They have switched their name in the Discord to SmorkCat to draft accordingly. I don't know if any Hearthstone players in the audience were commentating with me, but Smork is kind of an old Hearthstone meme for attacking the hero / going face. So, bottom line, Gentle Cat is taking a very interesting strategy of, whereas a lot of people, because the aggro lists can't be super optimal, they think the games are going to go later, so they focused a lot on drafting the very premium, good stuff late game drops. Whereas Gentle Cat is kind of taking the opposite direction, where if not everybody has board clears or hard removal, he's drafted a very early curve and is hoping to rush down Risky's deck.
By the way, they're in the game.
Oh shoot, I am...
Didn't mean to interrupt. Just
I'm trying to bring the bring the deep analysis that our players need here. So yeah, we missed a From the Stone from Gentle Cat, and a Shinbone Jouster hit the field off Affinity for RiskyCB. So interesting stuff.
Affinity Shinbone Jouster is fun.
Yeah. Really interesting to see Gentle Cat is immediately searched to prove me wrong by having a very... he's got a very wide array of different minions and different things that he can be doing here. The Helga stuff, the From the Stone, might come into play later, but for now he's playing the Stockpack Pouncer, getting a solid board advantage, waiting for Risky's move. He's got the Brick Trick. I don't know what late game
I'm
threats...
spectating from Risky's POV, by the way.
Yeah, I'm doing it from Gentle Cat's point of view. So all the streamers have different points of view, I guess.
I could see it. Yeah.
We've got 11 viewers, which totally surprises me. I wasn't thinking we were quite
That
gonna...
is a good amount of people.
Yeah, I'm impressed. I really... we're winging it here, but I hope that we're being roughly entertaining. Gentle Cat grabbing a gold foil card here. I made this. Look at that.
Yeah, Risky's drafted deck is actually very defensive. It might actually be hard for Gentle Cat to get through that, just based off what I see from the drafts.
For sure. I mean, Risky's already got this Devious Raccoon, I believe is the card name on the field. Already a big, deadly body. We're going deep into the turns, and Gentle Cat, even with the double Stockpack Pouncer...
Frog comes out on Jester, probably. Yep.
Yeah. But even with the double Stockpipe Pouncer start, Gentle Cat hasn't quite built up the tempo that he's looking for, I imagine.
He does have the Helgusta for late game.
Yeah, that's
so
really interesting to see.
It's not as bad, even though he was going for like an aggro deck.
But yeah, I think Risky had one of the most interesting drafts in the competition because he really was able to make some late strategic picks. I need to make the resources to look better, but I had a couple things. I believe he got the, what did he grab? I think he grabbed Lizethep, like second pick off someone. If anyone wants to look at either of you two want to look at his late game and go, because I know he's packing some really big threats kind of in that.
He has Mind of War, he has Lizethep, I think he has I don't even know how to pronounce that card, but like Glorp.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that card.
I think that is exclusive to Spirit, I believe, so I don't think we'll be seeing that in the Rick trick, but certainly something to keep in mind. Ghoul comes out, Rick trick's leveled up. Looks like RiskyCB is packing most of the board advantage going into the late game.
And the draft.
You gave it like the perfect sports commentator vibe, and and we head to the draft.
No, I mean like the draft is going to be very important in whenever like in this format.
Oh, for sure. I think that being able to grab those value bombs late, especially for Gentle Cat, might be what's keeping him alive, but he does take an interesting pick of the Barak Truck Preybeak. He didn't have any super great late game bombs in that draft, but it'll be interesting to see how he tries to trade down this board to have some momentum going into the later turns.
And honestly, it could be a pretty good idea if you want to go for like an aggro draft early on and hope that whenever you get like the in-game draft, you can get like late game stuff. Because it's a lot easier to decide like, oh, I just found this very large man in draft and I can just pick him up easy.
Yeah.
Do you have a stable early game?
For sure. It'll be interesting to see as we come up to the Helgust turn. Both players are able to look at that very threatening, very large card, and if Risky doesn't have the hard removal prepared, I can't quite see on my end, but could be a big problem if that, Angelfish is backing him in the face for 12.
Mm-hmm. There's some remove. Like, there's Mind of Wars.
Ooh.
Yeah. But the thing is, Gentle Cat already has double flyers on field, so it's going to matter whether or not Risky can stop the flyers, because I think that's what's going to get the damage through.
Yeah.
Well, that's the first thing that stops the flyer.
Yeah. His grip has been both tipped and gripped. He's all lined up. Was really surprised to see this Flame Tongue is actually putting in a lot of work. I didn't quite expect that to be as impactful this game as it's turning out.
Flame Tongue is a pretty good card as well. I like it.
Yeah, it's just solid field advantage for playing actions.
Yeah.
And it wasn't removed either. Like I'm pretty sure Gentle used the Absolute Edge on it earlier, whenever it was a 2/2, to make it out of the Shinboard Jouster range.
Really interesting to see these Nightmares finally entered the field. I mean, that was one of the cards that I was most scared of whenever I saw it kind of enter rotation, because even as you're attacking with these units, that's buffing it because it gets quote-unquote exhausted during the combat phase. So we're looking at something that can start hitting Vertrick if it's not removed for like something crazy like +8 or +9. So
Well, yeah, but another thing to keep in mind is that the turn you play the Nightmare is really important. Right now, there's a bunch of units that are in front of it, so if they block the units, its attack and defense stats will decrease if they kill units. That's just something to keep in mind around Nightmare also.
yeah, interesting thing.
I'm seeing a lot of good removers and riskies. They have like the duelist here that's gonna come out, and then they also have double-minded wars.
Ooh, Duelist on the... I forget what that card's called. The goal.
Oh wow, I don't know.
Stole.
So I don't know how that interaction works because Centennial Ghoul's copies are hard-coded to 1/1 in an interesting way. I believe since we see it like that with the Kodama was exhausted but was still at 1/1, I believe Nightmare's effect won't be proccing with the hard-coded Centennial Ghoul copy. So I think that is a permanent 1/1.
Well, you don't think Nightmare's effect will go off?
No.
It doesn't look like it is, no.
We see another Flame
This
Tiger.
is not a good card draft from
Yeah.
Risky.
The problem with, depending on those late game bombs coming out of draft, is sometimes you just come up empty and, you know. Sightless Archer, interesting pickup.
Bull Neon Ronins.
There's the
It's
first,
the first Mind of War.
You guys
Ooh,
were
the Unfair Werewolf. I guess that's to be expected, but
Yeah. Interesting to see the board state kind of stalling here in this more, I guess, like, with the lesser card quality, it's been harder to trade these board states because you don't have as aggressive starts from either side. So we're just kind of piling up the very good stuff's cards and then rolling the dice. Not rolling the dice per se, but just seeing how they resolve on the field.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna see what I kind of predicted in that the end game will be a lot more important than it is in conventional duels because of that.
I guess the question then becomes for Gentle Cap, when do you start rushing to resolve this board? I mean, you've still got threats developing in the form of whatever the Helgus drops onto, the Spiraling Madman, a little bit of removal from the Archer, but ultimately, you do know from your drafts that RiskyCB is going to be piling up the pressure. He's obviously got a little more card advantage, so when is the right time to press the advantage and see if you can win on this board?
from my point of view, it's looking pretty rough from Gentle Cat.
Ooh, that was a smart decision, but buffing the Archer.
Yeah.
Would it have... Ooh.
The Archer still dies to the...
Yeah.
So at least
Oh yeah, but
least
he forced it out.
Yeah, it trade. Okay, I see the Risky still has Lizeth in his hand, and so that's what I'm kind of waiting to be placed down right now.
Yeah, another big bomb that Gentle Cat is just not quite prepared for. It would have been interesting, maybe, to see... I mean, I know there's another Mind of War, I believe, but it would have been interesting to see a line in which the Helgus can go off on the sided Archer, and some of this board could begin getting cleared, but unfortunately, that wouldn't have gone through either way.
Yeah, wherever the Helgus goes down, it's just getting a Mind of War.
Yeah, interesting first game. You know, nothing's over yet. Obviously, anything can happen in a game of collective, but it's looking like Risky has this stalled board position and just the higher value and more card advantage in his hand from preparing more for the late game. What did we see out of RiskyCB's deck that was interesting? I mean, you had stuff like Froggy of Life and Huntsman and Thick Cloud, especially, but not just the late game drops, but it was interesting to see these kind of tempo-y mid-game stuff that was able, even if it was run off Affinity, it was able to keep Risky in the game against something that had a more developed linear on Affinity early game. So it'll be interesting to see how these different decks do, because obviously, you know, we're going to see Risky's Vert Trick again. I mean, this was something that he was drafting to have in mind, and so it's interesting to see that he was able to compete at that level, even with the deck that was trying to go aggro, trying to favor, trying to roll kind of hard. We can hear your Discord pings. Yeah. I'm not super adept with... I mean, I'm sure there's a way that I can...
You go on like Do Not Disturb on Discord.
Ooh, okay. That will be fixed from henceforth. I think I read the message about 3 minutes late, but from now on, won't run into the problem, so...
I'm just a very popular man.
Oh,
He
for
needs
sure.
many Discord.
It's not because I joined 50 servers for my silly Survivor games. No.
Spiraling Madman really is spiraling.
Yeah. It will be interesting to see. I mean, the board state is stalled, so maybe there's a world in which RiskyCB feels threatened enough by it to bait out a Mind of War, but I guess there's also From the Dark, so a lot of answers, and Gentle Cat.
Ah, yes. The Frog Knight has came out.
The loyal Frog Knight.
The game changes henceforth.
Oh, there is a period out.
But no. Actually, they have double active. They have both the lizard. I can't speak. The lizard and the jouster. So
Lizard and scary undead stab man are both.
Yes. Thank you.
That is interesting that the duels do proc that, because that will make his board a lot beefier, and then he can even start thinking about pressing the pace against his board, maybe. Because again, both players are thinking about, at some point, I need this to end, when can the clock stop ticking and I can start converting my whatever board advantage I've got to life advantage and wrap this thing up. See, only at the Collected Draft League can you get pressing commentary such as, you want to bring your opponent's life total to 0. Oh, this draft again is brutal for Gentle Cat, just not getting the cards that you want to see.
Yeah, I could see a lot. I could see this turn being very big for Risky, judging by his hand.
I like how you're not going to reveal what's happening. It's just scary
Risky's
stuff.
field is very strong with Chariot, and so the duelists need to die ASAP, and I'm not sure if Gentle Cat will be able to do that.
Seeing the Nightmare ping down was interesting, I guess, keeping...
Yeah, I didn't expect that. I was expecting the
Jouster trade?
Yeah, maybe, but then the Jouster does come back, though.
Well, yeah, that's true, but it removed the active stack for a turn.
Yeah, Chariot is just brutal when you start getting activators on it. Yes, that's a card I feel like people were underrating for a long time up until kind of Collector's big.
It was in meta it was KM meta for like the season. It happened, and then faster paced decks took over when Salamander came out.
Yeah, I mean, never nerfed the card, so it's something I've been thinking about tournament-wise. Shh, don't tell anyone else, though. I'm keeping that secret.
I mean, it's a viable option. Yeah. I actually don't run it in my KM deck just because of the cost and not enough triggers, but it's very effective when used correctly.
Gentle Cat just used pure skill and figured out the Fortune Dragon to get flying.
That is... I mean, we are seeing a lot of things going off with another From the Stone. Maybe there's some last hurrah here, but at this point, Chariot is just going ballistic. I mean, anything that gives you plus HP just snowballs so hard, and under draft format like this, where there's not quite hard removal for every threat in town, eventually it's just brutal when you draft for late game.
The Neon Ronin comes out.
Bonk.
I mean, 4 mana for 4 direct damage isn't bad. With a 4/3. So the duelists are pretty much Gentle Cat's only removal at this point, I think.
Yeah, it is difficult to see a path where this board resolves in Gentle Cat's favor. Another level up reward coming out, I believe that is the 5/5 unblockable duelist, so that should be another kind of big threat on the field.
Yes, that is the one coming out.
Ooh, the Traitorous Knight is coming in to backstab his friends, become an even bigger frog. This could be a problem. Oh no.
Oh.
Rest in peace. He could defeat others, but he could not protect himself. I believe that's yeah.
Ooh, and putting it on the Soul Claimer. So that's additional incentive to remove the Soul Claimer, as if he didn't have enough incentive already.
Yeah. When your stream isn't listed as a collective stream, I don't know how to do anything on Twitch.
Click the triple dot, and then click edit, and then add... Like, it's that easy.
Collective Draft League. I'm gonna ask Revenge to take over commentary as I figure out how the hell Twitch works.
Yeah, I'll try and help out as well. Yeah, I wonder when Risky's gonna... There's a lot of attackers going on from Gentle now.
Ooh,
I heard all those noises. I'm like, shit.
just pushing the advantage.
Yeah, Gentle's trying to push a lot. I think we could see a lot of blockers here, especially with
Well,
HP.
yeah, Risky has the 4 exhausted units, so that's not a bad option at this point.
Yeah, I mean, like, a lot of things hit face, but it was not a lot of damage like this.
Yeah, especially with Soul Claimer still on field, he's going to be...
forfeits.
Yeah.
Gentle got forfeits just in time for me to figure out how to work Twitch. We are now listed as a collective stream. And match 1 of the set goes to RiskyCB.
Nice commentary voice right there, Wayne.
I need to work on my commentary voice. It's a little plain.
Oh, someone has pinged you and asked for you to put the link on the Going Live server. I am not officially a spammer of Collective, as I still don't know how to use this Twitch app, but I'm working on it. I think I've...
It looks like the next round is starting, by the way. Just letting you know.
The real meta is to talk about how shitty you are at streaming as you mess up streaming. It's... I should probably, I'm probably gonna switch to Risky's POV, because we've already seen Gentle's. Did Risky add me? He didn't. That's a bummer.
Yeah, I'm watching Risky's. You can keep watching Gentle's chill.
Oh, I can watch... No, I can watch Voops. Oh, that friend isn't in the game. Dang. Okay, yeah. I'll watch Gentle.
God.
Feel bad. I don't want to overly highlight anyone's,
These things are, like, the same. From Risky. Like, this hand, I feel like it's deja vu because I'm really looking at, like, the exact same cards from when he was playing Brick.
I mean, hey, Card Off Infinity is still pretty chill. I mean...
No, I'm just saying it's interesting how well it, like, synergizes.
Yeah?
You can't see it, but my game is having a really weird bug where both the players' avatars are glowing.
Ooh.
It's like, yeah, it's very strange.
Golden Ash Gritty. Oh wait,
it's like a green ghostly glow. It's kind of spooky.
And I see one of my favorite cards in this draft, and I'm hoping he picks it. Purely for no reason other than it's just I like the card. Not pick it, how sad. It was the, like the stab of moth.
Achoo. That's a bummer. Really? You hate to see it. Oh man. Just crazy again, another very high tempo start. Even running these off affinity cards, it's just strong value is still strong value, even if it's coming off a turn later. Interesting to see RiskyCB pressing the life lead there almost immediately. I don't know if it ultimately matters in the end, but neat to see.
Yeah,
the Ancient of the Grove is a pretty nice early game for this. Like, Life Bond in general is probably very good for this format.
Yeah, Life Bond and Removal are two of the strongest things in this format. I mean, Removal's strong in any format, but especially when you have stuff that's hard to get rid of with normal card pools.
Interesting to see the draft of the... I don't know how in the world I'm supposed to say that card, but neat to see it in play. I was wondering if they were going to choose that or something like Deepwood Oracle, maybe Fish for their late game, considering they're staring down kind of a daunting task in that regard. Instead, looks like they're still committing to this tempo game plan. Interesting, they've got these 2 haunted patches here that could really pay off dividends later, you know, if you can limit the blockers and start hitting, because you still do have some prospective threats here, but in the end, you've just got staring down 2 of the greatest control heroes in Dat Ritrick, and with these tempo packages through the early game, getting him through that point, you know, once you hit mana totals like 7 or 8, it's just brutal for you to try and come back, especially in a format like this.
Yeah, the life gain is going to be hard for Gentle Cat to rush through that because Gentle Cat has a very tempo-oriented deck, and that's going to struggle against the life gain.
I was waiting for that to come out. This is really good.
I thought it was Naz who was supposed to be playing the Dralogs in draft, dude. This is brutal.
Yeah, Fearmonger is just a solid card you can just tech in any blue deck, to be honest.
The Schnegnoraka is seeing play almost immediately, trying to preserve some of that tempo, but dang, in the end, this is just rough. Cesark about to come out too. You know, not quite bopping this man's bib, but it's still a big threat on the board.
Being bopped.
There's no card that is as entertaining as Bip and Bop. I will not have anybody tell me otherwise. That is the perfect hero reward.
Oh, the Heal of Failure.
Ooh.
That could be really good for.
I also didn't realize the synergy between Bip and Bop and Mass Hysteria, because these are stuck in his hand, and if he hypothetically tried to play one, it bops his Bip. I don't know why he ever would, but brutal.
I'm honestly thinking Heal of Failure could come out here on like the Duneswalker.
Yeah, I mean, anything with one attack is also an activator for Cesark, so... I'm interesting, maybe a misplay to do that instead of going for flying, especially...
Well, it depends if they Heal of Failure the flying, because they still have that.
Right, but I'm saying because Cesark grabs the keyword, so grabbing flying probably would have been nice there if you're trying to press this life lead down from 18, but... I mean, with a start like this, Cheese Louise, another...
Yeah, another stronger.
Oh, that's going to be rough.
A lot of hysteria. His card total at this point is at, what's it, 11? Or no, 10 now, after the Haunted patch, but at this point, he literally might be getting Dralogged down in the middle of this. Dat Dralogs is the archetype that
There's the Heal of Failure coming out.
Dang.
Ooh.
No forfeits. And Risky wins, right?
Yep.
Yep.
That right there is the end of the set. Sorry we couldn't be with you longer here, but this VOD will be uploaded, so we'll have all these for reference, and the next time a match comes live, I'll ping you guys on the server, let you know. Anything people want to say before?
I mean, that was a pretty good game to watch. I was glad I was here.
Yeah, it was really interesting because the first game we had, it was much longer and drawn out, while the second game went a lot quicker tempo.
Yeah. Surprising even more so, my computer didn't explode. I was able to stream all 30 minutes of this, so can be thankful for that. I will figure out in the future how to implement delay. So, I mean, obviously I don't think either person was sniping, but, you know, technical difficulties working out. But thank you guys so much for having me. Thank you guys, everyone who turned in, and about to save the VOD here. Goodbye. Signing off with the first ever match of the Collective Draft.